did leave the arena before the 1 minute was up, so they are in the clear for that. We'll get a replay, and let's get this sorted out really quick. Figure out what was wrong.
Was next. Oh, maybe they had the wrong gear on, and because it's the tournament settings, they might have not had like full. I don't know. They looked like they took so much damage. Or I'm not sure. It like looked like no gear though. Oh, okay.
I could just turn it on. Question mark. Oh.
Okay, sorry about that. We had a little bit of a technical issue with our third-party voice communication program. So we're just going to organize that really quick, and then everything should be fixed. There was a volume drop really quick. I'm going to fix that for you guys in just a second, and then we're going to get back to everything being normal.
Okay.
Okay, everything should be back to normal now. Sorry about that. And let's get back to the cams.
Okay. What's up, guys? Me and Zuin are just chilling. Sorry about that little technical issue with whatever game that was. I think they definitely had the wrong gear on though, because they had 50k HP. At first I didn't see it because I don't have the. I only have the percentages.
Dangerously low as he just gets chunked.
Yeah, no, I only have the percentages on the nameplate thing, so I'm like, oh wait, what? How did they just get bursted?
You don't really see that much burst coming out from a MLP that often. It's like.
Yeah, I thought they got like
mage crits.
Yeah, no, I thought they might have gotten like a new weapon from Ashran or something that just took the other team out, but I'm glad they just didn't have any. They didn't have any gear on, so I'd rather have something like that happen.
Able to get into this queue now, sorry for interrupting, so I do not believe we have to play that intro again, so we're just gonna hop right into this game.
Telling me sorry for interrupting. That is a...
I have been told by Canadians that I need to stop bleeping apologizing, and yeah.
Fair enough. Stop apologizing.
I'm technically Canadian then, so no, I'm not. So we're going to be seeing the same teams, obviously, and again, Smexon does have that ability to get those double mass spell reflects if he specs for it. If not, he'll just have a singular mass spell reflect.
He also can spec for the blitz, by the way. You know, the double charge zone.
This is true.
He could use those to even stop both the mage and the warlock if they
get
a
lot of opportunity to stop incoming CC from the team of Mathletes. So we're going to see what Smexon is going to be doing here. And again, Vanguard's obviously being able to spam purge. But not too much to purge here. Maybe off the mage if he's to pop some cooldowns, but not too much else. But we're going to see probably Luminosity going offensive right off the bat as soon as they can.
Yeah, Smexon just running in off of Invincible, but for some reason we can see it, trying to go in for this double charge onto both Goob and a derivative, getting the double fear, and I think they're going to try to get as much pressure as possible onto Goob here. They're trying to shut him down on any of his dots here. Smexon already popping Recklessness with his full Stormal onto derivative. He's actually trying to hit him, but he gets Shadow Fear, does appeal, and they can't get that deep ring onto Danny Carey, so good job by Luminosity breaking that up. Sheeps on the Vanguard.
Here comes a counter pressure out of the Mathletes, trying to turn the pressure around, but Mob Mage taking a little bit of damage. Smexon actually taking a lot of damage as well. He's dipping pretty low right now.
29%. I like what the Mathletes did right there. They popped the Dark Soul right after they went for their CC setup, so obviously the Turbo is going to try to break up all that CC, and then the Warlock can just get so much damage after that point. And now we already have this full clone on a derivative, getting tons of pressure onto Mont Mage, and Danny Carey's going to be able to obviously top his teammates up. Smexon going for that Blaze Storm, and they already forced the Voidwalker by Goob, so now they have no way to silence any of Danny Carey's clones.
Second Darksteel actually coming out from Goob, trying to put out a little bit of counter pressure. Smexon getting pre-Iron Bark to stop some of that CC that probably is coming in on Danny Carey. Vanguard's actually being the target of choice as he gets hodged into the deep.
Yeah, he has to Sham Rage out of that, and they do break up the follow-up CC onto Danny Carey, but he's still so low. I do like the Luminosity was able to shut down the second Demon Soul by Goob, though, and I think they're going to be able to stabilize here. And now the Mathletes have no more offensive cooldowns, they have no more Dark Souls. I think Luminosity is going to be able to turn it around if Danny Carey is able to stabilize them here.
Danny Carey doing a beautiful job making sure his team is fully clean of dots. Smexon actually taking a little bit of pressure right now, but he should be able to stabilize. He does have that haunt on him, and Mont Mage actually looking like he's going to be chunked down quite low.
Triple fear by Smexon. He's getting tons of pressure onto Mathlete. He's going for this Blaze Storm. There's already the save by the lag proc. He's going for this ring onto Danny Carey, and he actually gets it. Nice play by Mott Mage under so much pressure, and he still makes that play happen. And they get the full fear on the Vanguards, and he gets feared into the Ring of Frost. Now fears onto Danny Carey. Luminosity under so much pressure here. They got cross CC'd beautifully by the Mathletes.
Daedalus Sword spawning for Smexen here soon, so he could be a targeted choice, but actually looking like a little bit of damage on Danny Carey. Not sure if they're going to be swapping onto him, but Goob actually taking a little bit of damage. The full Stormbolt onto Derivative, seeing if they could follow up some CC on him. Goob still's taking a lot of damage. He still has like Gateway. He might Gateway over Derivative.
He wants this, buddy. They have the full bash onto Goob. Sacrifice comes out by Derivative, but I don't think it's going to be enough. There's a save out of Proc, full clone onto Derivative. He only has his bubble and wings available. I think he's just going to pop his wings. He knows his teammates are going to be okay. Dark Soul comes out by Goob. He's doing what he can to get this counter pressure. They have the deep onto Danny Carey, but they're not going to be able to get the follow-up CC. Luminosity doing a great job stopping this pressure, and now Mott Mage is going very low. He's going to have to use his block. Triple clones by Danny Carey doing a beautiful job getting these offensive cyclones. Now there's a Stormbolt follow-up onto Derivative. They do get the shatter on the block. Smexen keeping up this pressure with his recklessness, hitting it both targets with this Rex Storm, and now full clone onto Mott Mage. Derivative can't even top him. Now the clone goes onto Goob. Danny Carey doing a beautiful job rotating these defensive cyclones, and his wings are falling now. So now with the clone rotated back onto Mott Mage, this Turbo Cleave is swapping everywhere. Now they're getting pressure onto Derivative. He only has his bubble left. He doesn't have wings. He has so little to keep himself alive, and they're going to get stopped on their CC setup too on top of all of this.
Mage still having that last block available, but it looks like they can just switch onto anyone at this point. Beautiful Fear coming out to try to peel, but they do not look like they're going to be putting any offensive pressure. The Descendants comes out by Vanguards trying to keep the pressure up.
Low at this point. He might have to use his bubble here. Yeah, there's the bubble by him. Double fear by Smexen, doing everything he can to shut them down. And obviously, this Icy Veins is falling by Mott Mage. He does have one Ice Block left, but I don't think he can get any CC here. They do have this half fear onto Danny Carey. I don't think he can get a sheep off of this, though. Luminosity getting so much pressure on them. We have the full Hodge onto Smexen, Shadow Fear onto Vanguards, deep onto Danny Carey, and they do get the follow-up CC with that. They have Sheeps onto Danny Carey. Vanguard's going to get half-feared off of this with another Re-Sheep onto Danny Carey. And Smexen under a lot of trouble. He had to use his retaliation here. He's going 24% HP. He has to use his Enraged Regeneration. And Danny Carey still has his Iron Bark available, though. I think he's going to be okay.
Again, beautiful job by Danny Carey, being able to keep his team clean, but a lot of pressure onto Goob right now. Full bash onto Derivative, and Goob could actually be in a lot of trouble here, actually trying to spam Fears out to try to peel, but they might be switching on a Mott Mage with the Stormbolt.
Full clone onto Goob. Great play by Danny Carey, and yes, that swap comes out. There's the block, and already Trinket by Derivative. They're swapping the pressure back onto Goob. He tries to keep his Blood Whore up, but he's still under so much pressure here. But they have the 3v1 turnaround to Luminosity. They have the ring, even though Danny Carey pre-shifted this. But he's going to use his Trinket immediately to try to keep Smexen alive. They do have the Iron Bark on him, and Smexen's using that MSR. Mott Mage in that clone. Goob has his last Dark Soul up, and they're trying to keep up the momentum.
Again, Derivative still having two bops available, but Goob's still under a lot of pressure with this Dark Soul. He's trying to turn the pressure around, but again, Danny Carey is doing a beautiful job keeping his team clean. And again, they're trying to keep these dots up as much as possible, but they might be switching on to Derivative here. He's taking a little bit of damage, and again, he's pretty low on mana. And Danny Carey doing a beautiful job. Vanguard's actually taking a lot of damage right now.
40% HP. I don't think they have any CC yet, though. They do have the Defreeze and Shadow Fear available. If they can get this Hodge, they can get the 3v1, but they have a full Stormbolt onto Derivative. I don't think they're going to go for their setup yet. And Triple Fear comes out by Smexen. Derivative's using that Bob on himself, but Goob is still low. 30% HP. Are they going to be able to get the kill on him? Luminosity has so much pressure. And that's the last Bob. The Mathletes have nothing left. Smex is getting so much pressure here, and they broke up the CC on Danny Carey as well.
Vanguard's desperately trying to dispel that bop off, but they're turning the pressure on a Mott Mage. He does not have any block for another 10 seconds. Can they get the kill here? Full bash under Derivative. They're going to be able to get kill. Almost at execute range. Will they be able to get nice blink away?
Oh, blink away with the Stormbolt charge, and there's the execute. Great game by Luminosity.
Very well played.
I'm ready to see the next game of the series. It was actually really fun to watch. I like how good of a job Danny Carey did getting all those offensive clones that game. Like he was just a monster. He was just taking complete control of that game, especially because they killed the Warlock CS pet. So with him having the Voidwalker out, he can't get any more counter spells onto Danny Carey, and it's just so hard for them to get any ways to stop those cyclones.
Derivative. Sorry, Derivative. Why do I keep saying that? I'm sorry.
It's okay.
If anyone doesn't know, last tournament.
No one noticed.
Last tournament, I didn't know who Asper was, and I kept pronouncing his name Dasper. He was just GCD Asper, and I didn't know who Asper was, and I thought the GC standard for something, and I kept saying Dasper. I need to get corrected for an entire game, so everyone in chat was spamming Dasper, and I was like, why is everyone spamming Dasper?
Okay, guys, so I'm reading chat and I see a couple of you guys seem to be having a couple of frame rate issues watching the stream. I'm really sorry about that, because I'm not dropping any frames. The stream is totally fine on my end. It is most likely on Twitch's end or on your guys' end, so try refreshing a couple of times, and hopefully that will work. So next we're going to be moving on to the next game of Luminosity versus the Mathletes, and they do decide to play on Tolvaron Arena.
Interesting. I guess they want to have that bigger map. Like we said, when we see these teams pick Tolvaron Arena versus these melee cleaves, it's so that they can potentially drag them out into a much worse position when they try to get this offensive pressure.
Again,
when
the queue is popped, so we are going to be going into that quick video, and we'll be right back. Sorry to interrupt, Dylan.
It's all good.
Oh, I might have just left Arena.
Okay.
Dilly, you're going to be casting this one, by the way.
Oh, so you missed the game.
My arena, my L-spec bugged out, and it made me leave the arena, so.
Alright, I gotta chug water for this.
This is on you, Broseph.
Alright, I'll try. I don't think I talk enough, so I'm kinda shy. But,
You got this. You got this.
We all need more Dilly.
Alright, so Mop Mage just coming out of the gates right here. I think Goob's gonna immediately try to go for this gateway right now. Yeah, he's going to go for this gateway. Luminosity isn't going to push in to stop this. But now we can already see Smexen coming in off his mount, going for the Shark Stun, trying to get pressure onto Goob, immediately getting this double fear, trying to get the pressure on a Mop Mage, maybe. Yeah, it looks like he's actually going to go on to hitting Goob right here, trying to keep up as much offensive pressure as possible. He already has his Void Walker out. He knows he can't even bother having that CS pet, or it's just going to die over and over and over again. Mop Mage popping his Icy Veins right now. He's going to look to get this Deep Sheep very soon onto Danny Carey, but I don't think they're ready for the setup yet. Goob is just under so much pressure, and Derivative is getting cloned into this full bash. They already have to use his trinket and his wings right now to keep his teammates alive, but they have the deep on, or they have the full Hodge onto Smexen with Fierce onto Danny Carey. They're trying to get this deep, maybe getting a sheep. Mop Mage just getting stopped on every single window of setup though, but they have tons of damage from this Dark Soul coming out by Goob. Mop Mage in this full Cyclone right now. Smexen getting more pressure onto Goob, trying to shut down his Dark Soul as much as possible at this point. And both teams are just kind of stabilizing, waiting for this next window. So Smexen being relentless, just keeping out this pressure onto Goob. The wings fell from Derivative, and now he's put into a full Stormbolt. He doesn't have his trinket available. He has Bubble in both his bops, but I think they're going to have to deal with this crazy pressure of this Rex Storm coming out by Smexen. I think this is going to be able to force a bop here, but no, they get the Shadow Fury on him, and Danny Carey's not going to get, or he's going to get full ringed off this Deep Freeze. They did shift it and MSR it, but they couldn't get the stop on the ring. So now still more pressure coming out onto Smexen. He's going to stabilize though, and he's just wailing on Goob. Goob's just not having a fun time from the looks of it. And now we have a full Stormbolt onto Derivative. Goob still getting chunked down. He gets full bash by Danny Carey and a nice Hex by Vanguards onto Mop Mage. Derivative getting charged into that full fear. Goob is not getting to play his character. He's just trying to run, but Smexen is just not letting him get away at all. He's just relentless. And Goob going down to 30% HP at this point. Derivative has no wings for 6 more seconds. If he can live until then, I think Derivative will be able to top him off, but he's now caught into this full Stormbolt. He has no trinket, only the bubbles and the bops, and now the wings is going to come out. Goob's going to stabilize. The Ironbark is falling off of Smexen, and they're waiting for this Deep Freeze setup to go onto Danny Carey again, but they have 15 seconds for that, and Goob is still going low. He's at 40% HP. Derivative's trying to keep him up with his wings, and he just can't at all. Luminosity just has tons of pressure at this point. Smexen's trying to just keep as much pressure on his Warlock, never letting him get a single UA. Full Stormbolt onto Derivative, and I think they're going to be making, or they're going to force Shaman Rage by Vanguards at this point. And they still have the Deep Freeze available at this point, so if they can get this Deep Sheep set onto Danny Carey, the Mathletes could turn around. Now they have the Deep onto Danny Carey, but he shifts it, so now they can't get the Ring of Frost here. Great play by Danny Carey. He's been pretty much making himself an just this wall where the Mathletes can't ever get any CC at all. And right now, Danny Carey getting this full clone onto Goob. They're swapping onto Mop Mage, getting some pressure onto him. He's taking this gateway to run away. And now Smexen's just going to Stormbolt Derivative. He's going to hit him. Try to force this bubble here. He's at 30% HP. Save by the Light proc comes out. He has to take the gateway. Full bash onto Goob, though. And now Smex is just hitting him. Anyone that comes close, Smex is just right on them, ready to go. He's not even bothering chasing them. And now the Deep Sheep comes onto Danny Carey. They get it full. He didn't shift that one. He had a Trinket Ironbark. Vanguard's trying to keep him alive. Vanguard says it's Shamanistic Rage coming up in 10 seconds, so I think he's going to be okay. But tons of pressure coming up by Smexon. He's going to get the charge done on a Derivative into that full Stormbolt. Goob's going low, 30% HP. Has no